Will RV transport destroy your truck? Let's go ahead and talk about it. Right now, I'm sitting inside a 2017 Ram 2500. It's got four-wheel drive. It's got the 68 RFE and, of course, the 6.7 Cummins engine in it. This truck was used in RV transport from day one, right off the lot. I think 17-ish miles, something like that, all the way until just recently when the transmission failed. So the question today is, will RV transport ultimately destroy your truck? In this particular case, my buddy, a fellow RV transporter driver, his transmission failed. I believe he had the money to possibly fix the transmission. However, he chose to go a different route and to ultimately sell this truck as is to me and to go into an entirely different line of work. So can we say RV transport destroys trucks, chews you up and spits you out, and along with your truck, you're left just kind of hanging? In some people's positions, that might be the case. If you're not holding money back for your maintenance and doing your maintenance, if you're not holding money back for catastrophic issues like a transmission, a transfer case, God forbid, the actual engine, which that may be a bigger, tougher situation to deal with, you could be taken out of the game. And ultimately, in this case, this shut down his business of being an RV transporter, and it wasn't worth it in his eyes to continue going forward. Probably many other factors, but truth be told is, being an RV transporter, with the pay rates, with the miles that we run, how hard we have to run consistently, the potential for missing intervals, for maintenance, for different repairs that could maybe grenade other parts. Can RV transport destroy your truck? Absolutely, it could. It's absolutely true. It could take you out one way or another. I think there's a fine line between having situations that come up with your truck where you're put in a position where you either have to take a loan out to cover the cost, or where something actually sinks you, like a transmission issue, like a head gasket issue, like injectors, you name it. There's many different things that could and might happen. However, the question is, do we have these things in place that we can take care of it? Are we ultimately making enough money to satisfy the needs of the truck, still be making money and bringing it home, but not go under? I know in my particular case with my 2012 Ram 3500 dually, there was a number of times where I had to ask the question, is this it? Is this where I get shut down? Exploring the options, figuring out how to do a lot of my own work on my truck, finding good deals, having some money stacked up in my maintenance account, stacked up in my catastrophic account, kind of a thing. For us as RV transporters, these problems don't happen on our schedule. It goes on its own. We're not asked about when it would be convenient. And so it's absolutely possible, although it can be incredibly painful to work through the process of repairing a truck, getting it back out on the road, trying to recoup all of the time and money that you lost not working, waiting on the truck to be worked on, and then paying for it, even thousands, potentially dollars down the drain. And now you're having to gain ground just to get back to zero, just to get back to where you were before. That can be extremely tough, especially if you're depending on RV transport to be your main source of income. I mean, it just is. Not making the money that you were expecting to make, multiplying that times all the time that your truck is down. I mean, there's people who have gone months or maybe even a year possibly, I don't know, that I've seen in some of the live streams that have gone so long without making any money in RV transport that it's a miracle that they're still here and things are going at all. So I'll share with you the question that I have continually asked myself with my one truck, and now I have multiple trucks for my dumpster rental business, including now this truck that I'm going to be using for different purposes. I've had to ask the question, I've counted the cost. If right now something happened me fixing it and keeping the truck, would that still be worth it to me to do what I'm doing? Does this make sense? And I can tell you, only from what I know, every single time I asked that question about my Ram 2012, the answer was yes, it's still worth it. My truck is not completely destroyed. The engine is no blow-by, no issues. I've had one set of injectors, no other major issues, a lot of small things. But ultimately, I was able to recover. I was able to get back out on the road, make up the loss. I was able to put money back in the bank to save in that account to be able to make things happen. In one aspect, you have a lot of worn out parts. You potentially have a ticking time bomb as far as, when is this part going to go? Well, it's an original part, so who knows? And then on the other side, you have parts that are brand new. You have parts that they've still got a warranty on them. So you've got a half new or half almost new with these newer parts, and then you've got maybe some other parts that are just waiting to go. I know in my other Ram truck, I have the original transmission. I have the 68 RFE weaker transmission. I have zero issues with it right now. It could blow up tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked, but I would also say I still got my money's worth. Over 700,000 miles, I'll take it. But this is the situation we have to put together in order to see, man, will RV Transport actually take out my truck? I mean, yes and no, possibly. Some absolute, outliers, yes. People who get right into it, they go over their 100,000 mile mark, and then things just go kablooey. Then there's other people like myself who I've escaped the jaws of death in many aspects, especially being able to work on my own stuff, do my own things. I've been brought back when my injectors blew up from Missouri. There are a lot of these factors, and I think it's this really important question that we've got to be able to ask, because in one instance, we have somebody who's just absolutely meticulously taking care of this truck here. The transmission goes, but because of his situation and even other factors, he's had to walk away entirely. One transmission at one time, one of the maybe the biggest issues he'll ever have, besides maybe some injectors, took him out of the game. On my side of things, I've been able to piece together my truck as things have gone on, over 700,000 miles, and it's still out on the road. It's still running. It's still going. And so the question isn't just an absolute yes or an absolute no. We have to really consider this. There's been times, I can't tell you how many times, out on the road I thought, man, should I sell this truck? Is this truck being just absolutely slowly chipped away to pieces? Should I get a new truck? Should I trade it in? Or am I going to full send this? Am I going to replace every single thing until literally the frame rusts into pieces? Am I going to full send this until the cows come home? Like, what does this look like for me? And earlier on for me in my journey in RV transport, I decided I'm going to send this puppy all the way to the moon. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to learn. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to find out the known problems. I'm going to deal with them as quickly as I can. I'm going to do as much as I can myself to save some money, to learn some skills, to help other people out, blah, 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 all that stuff. But we all have to answer this question. At what point is enough enough? Are you able to swing some of these repairs, to keep up with the maintenance, to do these things to where RV transport, to putting your truck to the test, to really putting it out there pretty hard, is it going to sink you? Are you going to be on the side of the road with no other options, and you're sitting there going, well, here we are. So as much as I would love to just believe that everybody out there is going to be okay, and that they're holding money back for their maintenance, they're holding money back if they can even afford the higher costs for oil, for filters, for everything under the sun, all the parts out there, I know there's people out there who are on the verge, who are possibly almost on the side of the road, who have issues and they don't know what else to do, where to go, how to do it. I mean, they don't have other options. And so I think it's a sobering thought for us to consider right now. Is this going to take me out? Is this going to shut the thing down? I'm sitting in the proof that a transmission can take you out. I've been on the side of the road. I've been that close myself. It's not that I'm any better than anybody else. The question is, at what point is enough enough? And if we can't swing something, what do we do then? RV transport is a tough industry to be in. You can get so upside down so quickly without anything being really necessarily your fault. Things can just happen. And I think we need to take some time, no matter what truck you're in, using it for any purpose. Count the cost, understand and decide right now, is this truck going to be with me? Am I going to be buried in this truck? Am I going to be sending this and working on all these parts and replacing all these things so then I have mostly a new truck after you've gone through a round of different repairs? And then when the next thing comes, you're able to say, well, I can swallow this because half my parts are new at this point. You've already gone through so many things that this isn't that bad. And that if you have enough money to cover it, it makes sense to move forward with it. Some people it makes sense, some people it might not, and that's okay. But the conversation that you should have with yourself while you're driving down the road hundreds and thousands of miles, this should be a thought for you, in my opinion. I hope this video has helped to you. It's thought-provoking. Not everybody's situation in RV transport turns out to be a success story. Sometimes bad things happen. And sometimes it's too high of a cost. And RV transport can take people out of the industry and really hurt them financially. What I'm now left with after 7 years in RV transport, 700,000+ miles, and a lot of stories and a lot of thoughts and ideas about the whole situation, what I'm left with is a truck that has a good amount of parts that are brand new or at least newer, and then I'm left with some pretty big parts that have yet to fail. And it's going to be a pretty penny to replace these parts. And you know, in my new business, that's a whole other subject. This is what can happen. Two different scenarios, one going one direction, one going the other, and it's not the same for everybody. So in the comments, please let me know what you think about this. If this is something you haven't considered as far as what the end goal is with your truck, talk with other people. Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you've gone through a truck loss and you're still back out on the road with a new truck or something like that, please let us know. How have you bounced back? Were you able to? Are you still trying to bounce back? What does this look like for you in your business, being an RV transporter, and ultimately trying to make things work, provide for your family? If you're full-time, you know the pressure's on. There's a heavy weight on your shoulders, and I get it, I understand it, and there's a cost in any direction you go with this stuff. I ultimately hope that nobody has issues at all with their trucks, but the truth is, we're promised that there's going to be trouble in this life, and when there's trouble, hopefully we can respond accordingly to that and be able to have a plan. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want more content like this, talking about more trucks and different things in my experience in RV transport and other things. Hopefully you have a great day today, guys. Stay safe and God bless.